all-white uniforms. The Packers in their traditional green and gold. Sky Moore and Bo Melton back deep. It is Sky Moore for Green Bay, 20-25-30, and a really good return out to the 38-yard line with the ball spotted at the 37. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up nicely. Love to Watson across the middle, and it's out and picked up by the Broncos. Riley Moss jumps on the football for Denver. Love's under center. Play action, they're going to throw for it on 4th and inches. Lofted, it is caught. Matthew Golden on the receiving end. Taken down by Surtain, but clearly had enough for the first down. Needed inches, got 20 instead.
And I think you're seeing how much the Packers respect this Broncos defense. Everybody else is running the ball here on 4th and inches, but they wanted to see this situation with Jordan Love against a top-tier defense. And right now, if you're the Broncos.
The Packers, Marshawn Lloyd back in there. Love play action, throws across his body. He's got a man, it's Drake Dabney. First-year player. 12. Watson motions through the formation. Inside handoff. Lloyd cuts to the outside, left side. The Broncos are there. Surtain had him for a loss and in the backfield, but he's able to stumble forward for a yard or two. Love out of the shotgun. Broncos rush 4. Throws. Matthew Golden able to haul it down. A flag comes in. Dropped at the 11. Yeah, Matt LaFleur wanted to know what was going on as well. More play action. Love off the back foot, waiting for Christian Watson to come across. And he is belted out of bounds. And I mean belted by Pat Surtain. You can see Alex Singleton changing the defense for Denver. Love to throw, looking left, waiting for a man coming across the middle. It's the running back, Marshawn Lloyd, into the end zone for the touchdown. 11 yards from Jordan Love, and that's an impressive game-opening drive for the Green Bay Packers.
Defensive mix-up, you called it out, Steve, to start. They got caught in a blitz. Alex Singleton checked out of it, but it looks like not everybody got the message.
Well, in a slot to the right, top of your screen. Here's Nix. Fakes the quick throw, gives to Harvey straight ahead. And the Broncos will push the pile out to the 40 at a pickup of 5. Nix out of the gun, see the Packers bring some pressure. And they do, it's picked up nicely. Nix sails it across the middle and is caught. Jalen Waddle, his first catch as a member of the Denver Broncos. And it's good for 30 yards in the first down.
Picks up a stunt to start, gives Bo Nix all day, and watch Waddle slow down. He got there too fast. Bo Nix has talked about how he has to throw it even sooner than he thinks sometimes because of Waddle's speed, and then you're getting to see what I've seen in training camp. When Waddle catches the ball, magic things happen. He is going to be
3rd-round pick and a 4th-round pick to get Jalen Waddle. I think everybody agree, well worth it. Set up the screen to R.J. Harvey. And he's taken down from behind at the 22, pick up a 3. Down to Scotty, just outside the red zone for the Broncos. Packers rush 4. Nix, right sidelines, got a man, it's caught. R.J. Harvey on the wheel out of the backfield. 21-yard strike. Welcome back, Bo Nix. And the Broncos on the board.
What a throw by Nix. Going to R.J. Harvey, the 3rd option on this play. Surveys the field, looks left, delivers a perfect rainbow. Harvey does not have to stop, hits him between the numbers.
Tyrod Taylor, the veteran, in his 16th year out of Virginia Tech, gives to Marshawn Lloyd. Down the sideline, we'll see where they spot it. They're going to give him enough for the first down. Working on Brandon Jones. 2nd down and 10. Taylor out of the gun. Broncos rushing 4. Little crevice opens up. And Taylor will slide down. They'll mark him at the 26. Another pickup of 4. Humble, but a great guy. Here's Nix, wants to throw. Back from his 45. Throws, sideline. And it's Will Jordan Humphrey. Got the first down. 14 yards. And Nix is spreading it around.
Nix having all day to throw. This offensive line protecting their tail off. And on the comeback route, Lil Jordan Humphrey turns around and the ball's right there. So
Bo's going fast here. Handoff to Jonah Coleman, hits the spin cycle. And he is ripped down. Thought that might have been a face mask. As we approach the first minute, Zaire Franklin and Carl Brooks make the stop.
Jonah Coleman.
Calvin Throckmorton's been playing a lot of the center position. He's in there now. Nix running the wrong way, able to get rid of it to Coleman. Won't get back to the line of scrimmage. And that might take us to the end of the first quarter.
Although Bo Nix doesn't get a big pass here, he does elude the rush and throws a dime. So they'll have time to get everybody healthy.
Will Lutz, 53-yard field goal attempt is on the way, and it is good.
The speed that Waddle brings changes the eyes of defenders. And how about that? They have a touchdown drive, and both the receivers are saying, hey, what can we get better?
Here's Pierre Strong on the kick return, has some daylight, sideline, beats Lutz, 40, 35, and just shy of the Denver 30. Pierre Strong Jr., massive special teams play, a 68-yard kick return.
Not what you want if you're the Broncos, and if you're Strong, that's exactly what you want to put on tape to make the team. He's going to start upfield and break it out to his left, your right as it.
This from 51, rookie kicker, snap of the place, kick on the way. And wow, that's close to perfect. Packers have really struggled in the kicker department recently.
Executing with Davis Webb in his ear and putting a touchdown drive together, which he did. You are thrilled if you're the Broncos staff about Bo Nix tonight.
Colby Katzis down the left sideline. Listen to the roar from the crowd. 40 yards on the return. Colby Katzis, rookie out of Northern Arizona, from the 5 and showed off some sideline speed.
Just gets
Tyler Bidet in the backfield. On first down and 10. Pitch to Bidet on the right, little stutter step. Forget about it. Packers are right there.
Steve.
Second down and 4. Pierre Strong Jr. had the big special teams return, and they're on the run. Abrams Drain brings him down after the pickup at 12. Shotgun snap. Taylor brings it down, throws for the end zone. It is juggled and caught, and one official went to say touchdown. The other said no. It's Will Shepherd, and there'll be a conversation. One official was motioning to put his arms in the air, touchdown. The other official, the back edge of the end zone, was saying no, incomplete. And we need a call on the field, and after further discussion, the call is touchdown.
I don't know that he got both feet in. We'll watch it with you here. I don't think he got it, Steve. That's 1 foot. That works in college, not in the pros. That's
is that toe
maybe
tap
that toe
down?
did tap. Okay.
And does he have full possession of the ball when
possession.
it does tap
yeah,
down?
Okay. Got to see him last year when they played Notre Dame, and he was a wrecking ball.
Stidham across the middle, able to complete. Dane Key, welcome to the football game. His first target and grab is good for 35.
Quick decision by Jarrett Stidham. Surveys the field, delivers the ball.
Packers showing some pressure. They don't come, just rush 4. Stidham steps up and fires, right sideline, and it's incomplete. One little Jordan Humphrey. Jalen Simpson had the coverage for the Packers. One that was wiped out due to penalty. Snap and the kick on the way. Wow, Trey Smack is money. 27-7.
Got a great opportunity here, 2 timeouts.
Stidham throws, and it is intercepted. Intercepted, wanted Lucas Kroll, but it's picked off by Mark Perry. And quite frankly, the Broncos are fortunate that wasn't a pick 6.
Yeah, excellent play by Perry. Jarrett Stidham's just going to stare down Kroll.
43-yard attempt coming for Trey Smack. Would appear to be a chip shot for this kid after hitting from 59 earlier. Snap, place, kick is perfect. All right, 20, I beg your pardon. From the 41. And met in the backfield is Bidet. Loss of 5 on the play. Kamal Hadden able to make the stop in the backfield for Green Bay. He was injured last season. He made the Kyle McCord under pressure. Forget about it. He'll be dumped back at the 19-yard line. Q Robinson got home in a big way for a loss of 15.
And what a response by the Broncos defense. Your offense couldn't get it going, but now you've started to turn the momentum because of a quick, so that if it happens in the season, it's not the first time it's going on.
Stidham on the ground. McLaughlin straight ahead, taking on opponents. Wants to keep it going. And Biotish, that's in the division with the Chargers. The Chargers always seem to have an offensive lineman get hurt.
Yeah, in the preseason.
He knows exactly what his teammates are going to do on the other side of the line, and it helps him so much. I'm excited to see it play out this year.
4th and 4, want to throw for it. Stidham instead takes off and runs for it and slides down for the first down. Smith. And now they're playing with Throckmorton and Ortega at the center position. Stidham, arm might have been hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Hakeem Butler was there and got batted up in the air, and he could not bring it down. M.J. Devonshire Jr. on the coverage for Green Bay. We're going to chip into this Packers lead. This will be a 38-yard field goal from the veteran Lutz out of the hold of Crawshaw.
If I remember correctly, that was on the road and really kind of set the tone for the rest of the season. Gave players belief.
Kyle McCord strikes down the field and finds Isaiah Nayer for the big gain. Might take us to the end of the third quarter.
Nayer wide open after the play fake from McCord and gets upfield. Excellent tackle there.
Packers have the football, enjoying a 23-13 lead over the Broncos. Handoff. Jaden Nixon is met in the backfield immediately. Dropped by Reese Taylor. He's been a practice squad player the last few seasons. Loss of 3 on the play.
Tyler Onyedum getting in there as well. Redirect the back. That's perfect. One hand washing the other on defense. So now the
on 1st down and 10. Just inside the 20. Jaden Nixon straight ahead, taking people on. And he slams inside the Broncos 5, good for 15.
Got a injured Bronco. Tyson Anderson. Here, just a gut run, they call it, right down the belly button of the defense. And you'll see at the end of the play, Anderson's going to stop him, but also
go back to the ground game with Jaden Nixon. Trying to push across the line, and he gets there. Touchdown, Green Bay Packers.
Gutsy run by Nixon. He's going to get met about 1 yard from the end zone and just keeps those legs moving. That's why those running backs do squats. Good initial stop. Broncos country loved last season. It was such an exciting ride.
Hey, maybe Green Bay right here, right? That's these two franchises, their two fan bases are truly among the best. Katzis, the return just shy of the 30.
However, it's kind of an advantage to get the Chiefs first. Why? Well, with a lot of changes to their defense and a Spags defense that usually takes a couple of weeks or even a few months to get going, it's a great time to hit them.
Because that's the quality that you have on this roster here with the Denver Broncos.
Oh, Ellinger be swallowed up by Anthony Campbell, first-year player of Miami, and that'll go as a loss of 9. But it's all relative, right? There's never a good time to go to Arrowhead.
No.
But Cynthia believes at least week 1, maybe you catch it. Here's McCord. Steps and fires, still throwing. Ball was up for grabs, and somehow the Packers came down with it. Will Shepard, great catch in traffic that looked like a pick opportunity for Reese Taylor and the Broncos.
And a little dead shoulder here from Kyle McCord. Steps up in the pocket, and you said it, Steve. Just put it where only Shepard could catch it. The Colorado Buff having a night in Colorado. In your first game, whoever, they always ask, is this your first game at Lambeau? Get some extra time to get out there early so you can enjoy it.
Trey Smack from 38 yards away. What else is new? Smack in the pack.
And some coaching points to work on. And you would rather learn those lessons now so that you're ready for the season than to wait and figure this out week 8.